Okay, hi. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Climate Collective's first climate pitch. I'm Zoe, and I lead the Women in Climate Entrepreneurship Initiative. With 593 early stage climate startups in our portfolio, we see a lot of innovation every day. However, it is not straightforward to get access to funding for climate tech startups. Specifically at early stages, before the angels and VCs come in, there needs to be some bridge funding available for these wonderful entrepreneurs creating impact. This is where the idea of Climate Pitch was born. To support climate startups from our portfolio with grants, as well as possibly pilot opportunities. When we started off with our first program, Climate Launchpad, we didn't see many women entrepreneurs as a part of the program. The percentage was just about 15%. To encourage and support more women-led startups, we started the Climate Ready for Women programs. Our first cohort was of 16 women entrepreneurs, mainly in circular economy from Kerala, supported by the Kerala Startup Mission in 2019-20. Post the cohort, it has been really great to see many of these startups progressing and scaling up considerably. Our second cohort was for women-led startups, particularly in the upcycling businesses, supported by the incubation network. While working very closely with these businesses, we realized that women entrepreneurs need to be supported more with funding at early stages to make sure that they thrive in the market and also achieve a particular scale. Also, with upcycling businesses, the scale of funding required is low and can be fulfilled with small grants and aligned pilot opportunities. So here is presenting the climate pitch for women. The pitches are all by women-led startups from both these cohorts of Climate Ready for Women programs. Do see these recorded pitches, and if you wish to get in touch with the founders, write to us at Zoe, that's JUI, at climatecollective.net or info@climatecollective.net. We would be really thrilled to connect you to these founders. We really hope that they receive overwhelming support for their amazing work through this platform. So here are the pitches.
Hi there, I'm Dhwani Mehta, the co-founder of Ecovia. And if you think about the last time you received an e-commerce order, pretty sure you ripped apart the packaging with all your might and strength and tossed it in the bin. And this process of unboxing e-commerce orders has largely remained the same since the advent of e-commerce itself. And at Ecovia, we're here to change this narrative for the first time in India by making every piece of e-commerce packaging returnable and hence more sustainable. We're here to develop a packaging as a service solution where we provide reusable packaging to the product along with the package return service to e-commerce businesses charged on a pay-per-use basis between 12 to 18 rupees per use. Packaging market in India is poised for disruption. Not only is it the fifth largest sector, it also has a huge addressable market of $205 billion. As for our beachhead market, we're primarily targeting the D2C brands and their packaging. And this market is valued at $130 million as of today. It also has a daily shipment volume of 3 million. So this goes on to show how big and promising the space is. Brands benefit in multiple different ways by working with us. Firstly, there's a 25% direct cost savings on the packaging front. Second, we also help them save 20% on the shipping cost because our package volume is much more compact and lesser, which makes it less costly to ship products in our packaging. And lastly, we also help them reduce the amount of time taken to pack products by 30% because our simplified design reduces or eliminates the need to use fillers, tapes, and bubble wraps and similar items. In terms of the solution, this is what it largely looks like both from product and service perspective. Starting with the product, our packaging is made from recycling plastic bottles and it is designed to survive 100 cycles. So each piece of our packaging can essentially serve 100 orders and it can also eliminate the need to use 100 different single-use packaging. And also, since it's meant for e-commerce, it is waterproof, tear resistant, and collapsible. Also comes with a security seal to avoid tampering or to prevent tampering during the transit process. In terms of the service side of things, we deliver the products reusable packaging to e-commerce brands. Brands ship their products in our package to their customers. Customers return the package and they get rewarded for acting responsibly. Lastly, when we get the package back to our base, we clean and sanitize it to make sure it's ready for the next cycle. In terms of the customer discovery journey, we set out to seek feedback for a model that did not exist in India. It did not have a precedence. So questions for both brands and customers were quite fundamental in nature. Starting with the brands, we want to understand what it would take for them to switch to us, both from operational, financial, and also customer experience perspective. What we found out was the switching costs were incredibly low, both from an operational and a financial perspective. And lastly, brands did value propositions which were not just sustainable but also cost effective, thereby adding more to their delight and also the customer's delight. And from the customer perspective, we wanted to understand whether or not they understand this concept of returnable, reusable packaging, and would they return if they were asked to. And lastly, would this proposition be so convincing enough that they would choose brands that Ecovia works with other than their competitors. And what we were able to find out was that customers recognize how wasteful e-commerce packaging is and that they would return if there was a proper infrastructure that made the returns process seamless. And secondly, conscious bunch of customers also vouched that they would switch brands if at all there was one brand using Ecovia and the other wasn't. In terms of our financials, there are three key drivers for us, starting with the package return date, the cost to make and collect it, and the third would be the shipments per year. By year 5, we aim to capture 11% of the D2C packaging market and earn profit of 55 CR for that year, that's the 5th year. In terms of our climate impact, we fare much better than the other alternatives available in the market, that is cardboard, plastic, and paper. Reason being, our impact or our emissions from manufacturing and end of life, they're spread across multiple reuses we get out of our packaging, and that is not the case with single-use packaging available in the market. Extrapolating the amount of savings that we're able to bring to the table in terms of CO2, we cumulatively for the beachhead market, we'll be able to save 133,000 of tons of CO2 emissions for the beachhead market. And secondly, we also have the potential with our offering to eliminate 1.1 billion single-use packaging per year. This is our team. We're a bunch of 3 co-founders, all driven to change the face of packaging in India and also to eliminate 22,000 tons of packaging waste and to achieve a cumulative revenue of $20 million by year 3. In terms of our ask, we are looking to raise 18 lakh for our pilot, and here's why. To start off with, we want to onboard 2 additional brands to be able to serve 25,000 more shipments across the Q3 of 2021. And the funds raised would be used for the manufacturing of the packaging, second would be the logistics process, and third would be towards customer education. That's it from Ecovia. Thank you so much for your time.
Good day everyone, I am Ardra S. Nair from Team Ecolook 360 Sustainable Packaging for Cosmetics. My journey towards sustainability started in 2020 as BIRAC Social Innovation Fellow. While exploring different waste management sector, I found a shocking discovery. India produces around 142 billion units of packaging in cosmetic industry in 2018 alone, 79% of which ends up in landfill. This was a problem that needed an immediate attention. Here is our deal. Ecolook 360 sells eco-containers from recycled coir fiber to natural organic cosmetic brands at a rate of ₹45 per 50-gram product capacity container. Our market. The global cosmetic market is valued at $380.2 billion with $49.4 billion packaging market. Global organic cosmetic market is valued at $34.5 billion with Indian cosmetic market valued at $20 billion. With beachhead market domestic organic cosmetic brand, Indian organic cosmetic market is valued at $834.5 million. We selected domestic organic cosmetic brands as our beachhead because these are environmentally conscious brands targeting millennial customers who want non-toxic product, including packaging. And we tend to select Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka as our beachhead market. Customer value proposition. We help environmentally sensitive businesses who want to reduce their carbon footprint by increasing their net sales, thereby increasing their brand value and credibility. Studies show that while switching to sustainable packaging rather than plastic packaging will help to increase the net sales of companies from 2 to 4%. Our product is made from recycled coir fiber. This coir fiber come out of as waste from PVC tufted coir mat factories in Kerala. About 250 tons of such waste is produced per monthly in Kerala. And with the addition of natural polymer resin to this recycled coir fiber and the process of injection molding, we will be making the eco containers. The competitive advantage being it is sustainable, biodegradable and recyclable. Also, it has a natural aesthetic. Customer discovery. We interviewed 20 organic cosmetic brands and 3 plastic container manufacturing units. The key questions we asked were, what is the quantity of containers required yearly? What is the current type of packaging they're using? Will they incorporate sustainable packaging? The key learnings being 5,000 to 50,000 containers are required for the cosmetic brand depending upon the size of the company, with 1 to 6 lakh unit production monthly in manufacturing units. And 85% of them are using plastic containers as of now, and they're looking for alternatives that promote their organic brand value. Financials. With a vision market of 500 cosmetic companies and 10% of share, we aim to target 150 customers, thereby making a profit of 22.5 crore rupees Indian rupees with a profit of 5 rupees per product. The key drivers being the material cost, the product cost, and the number of products we make per year. This is the financials for year 2022 to 24. Climate impact. With 79% of the cosmetic product containers ending up in landfill, it produces around 0.16 metric ton carbon dioxide net emission, whereas the PLA will be negative 4.19 metric ton. Thus, by targeting 4 lakh containers as beachhead market, we save 4.35 metric ton carbon dioxide equivalent. Our team, including myself, Ardra S. Nayak, founder of Ecoloop 360 and Bharat Social Innovation Fellow, Grishma Emma, co-founder and project manager, Abhijit S., also a co-founder, is a certified LC analyst, Reshma Ramesh is our research assistant who holds an MSc in Polymer Science. Our dream is to provide socially inclusive and climate positive solution for a better future, to reach INR 500 crore revenue by 2026, and to diversify eco-friendly products from waste materials. We have raised 14 lakh INR for prototyping from BioRack Social Innovation Fellowship, and we are seeking for 15 lakh INR for piloting our product to generate a revenue of 10 crore INR. And the grant money will be utilized for team building, 35% of which and 25% will be used for product development, 15% for facilities, and 15% for as working capital, and 10% for product launching. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Himansha Singh, and I'm a co-founder of Crust. India generates 500 million tons of crop residue every year, out of which 90 million tons is burned, releasing 150 million tons of carbon dioxide, making crop burning a serious air pollution problem. Now, unfortunately, our farmers don't have many options which are cheaper and faster. Now, the second problem is deforestation. 27 football fields of forest are lost every minute. It's a ticking time bomb, and we really need to do something about it now. We've known about this issue for so long, but we also know that the increase in timber demand is only going to make this worse. It's also an economic burden. India spent $5.4 billion just last year to meet timber demand. The third issue is formaldehyde fumes. Formaldehyde is a resin which is used in adhesive for wood-based products, including our furniture. But it's highly toxic. It's a human carcinogen. It causes respiratory disorders and skin irritations. For all these problems, Crust has one solution: by putting waste to work. We use crop residue as an alternative for timber. We've innovated into a formaldehyde-free adhesive, which is eco-friendly and toxic-free. We have a uniquely designed machine to reduce resin uses, making it commercially viable. Compared to the best-selling board in India, our crop-based formaldehyde-free board is high in strength as well as being moisture resistant. So for our customers, we provide a healthier, tree-free furniture without highly toxic formaldehyde. We are moisture resistant, which means that our shelf life is far more superior than the currently available furniture options. We're twice as strong as industrial standard. We are also easily customizable into any shape and size. For the manufacturing value, we are compatible with the current manufacturing machinery. We are also environmental friendly and have zero effluent discharge, meaning that in years to come, we will be compliant to the government compliances in manufacturing. Now, as far as the revenue model is concerned, we have a B2B model where we sell the boards to furniture maker, architects, and builders, or work in collaboration with them. Now, for our decentralized facility, we source raw material locally. We also have a local manufacturing plants. That's the idea that we have. So we want to reduce carbon footprint furthermore, even in the manufacturing sites. So we are working on a wider distribution network for the B2B sales. Our social environmental impact includes saving trees, providing farmers with more income because we buy crop waste from them. And because we buy crop waste, they don't burn it, so we reduce carbon dioxide in turn. Our market has two segments, broadly classified into panel boards as well as furniture market. So the panel global market in 2020 was around $93 billion. And in the next 7 years to come, it is going to increase to $227 billion, meaning there's a high surge in the wood panel market. For furniture market in India alone, it is $41 billion and has a global $600 billion market to disrupt. So our addressable market is going to be the furniture market in India to begin with, and then moving forward globally. Our key market driver is rapid urbanization and increasing demands for ready-to-assemble, greener and sustainable products. For us, the market driver is also government tight regulation on formaldehyde emission, also the tax subsidy on non-wood products, and rising plywood prices due to timber demand. We are already working with Vikasna and Prespal to set up our supply chain. We are already also partnering with clients in architect, furniture, and construction sectors. And in that, we're increasing our network as it goes. We have already signed LOI with Featherlight, Greencore, and Shreya Properties. We've also won a lot of awards, both globally and nationally. We were also the TechStar alumni for 2019 sustainability cohort. And we have signed research MOUs with CERCOT in Mumbai and University of Maine in USA. So we are currently making boards with CERCOT and validating them with the industrial partner so that we know that we are making the right board which is needed in the market to disrupt this industry. The next step is to set up our own pallet plant and then get into the market and revenue generation. And then we would be scaling up to the full capacity plant. This is our team where we have a good balance of both business as well as research team. And in our mentors, we have both research as well as technical dominant mentor. So today we are asking for funds to set up our full capacity plants. And our funds include machinery installation, setup of plant, as well as marketing and supply chain. So let's swing into a more sustainable world together. We only have one planet and we need to stop the climate change. Thank you so much. It's up to you to decide whether it is going to be this or that.
Greetings from EcoChar. EcoChar is a clean tech startup which has a motto of a clean way for a greener environment. So we are utilizing natural resources to nourish nature and to minimize the judicious use of antibiotics by livestock farmers and chemicals in agriculture farming. This idea emerged when I was working as a faculty at Government Medical College and there was abundance of these pine needle waste. These pine needles are highly prone to fire and it has led to loss of around 44,000 hectares of forest land to fire. This has led to creation of ecological imbalance and leading to social, economic and environmental loss in the Himalayan belt. So we thought of utilizing these pine needles and converting into utility products. For this, we did a lot of R&D and met our potential customers who are poultry farmers. These are some of the pain points of Mr. Rawat, who is engaged in poultry farming business, but he is not satisfied. This is because the feed cost is really high. If he is not using this feed, a formulated feed a cheaper alternative is being used, then the feed conversion ratio turns out to be very poor. And in order to compensate for that, he has to use antibiotics and growth promoter. So we came up with a deal for our potential customer to use biochar feed additive, biochar little bit, and wood vinegar. We buy back activated biochar from poultry farmers and sell it to organic farmers who utilize it as a premium fertilizer. This is our beachhead market, which is Uttar Pradesh, and currently in livestock, we are focusing on poultry farming. And in agriculture, we are focuses on semi-medium and medium farmers. We did a randomized controlled trial with our potential customers, and we found that there was significant increase in poultry birds' weight when the formulated feed was given with biochar. This is due to the absorption of the toxic elements which are present in the formulated feed. Thus, the weight of these birds was increased. And also, poultry birds lack phytate producing enzyme. The phytate component in the formulated feed is being absorbed by biochar that has led to increase in the weight of these birds. Now, what has it done? It has increased the profit margins of this farmer and also opened up an organic market for these poultry farmers. Our products are biochar and wood vinegar, which is formed by pyrolysis of pine needle, agroforest, and agriculture waste. This replaces antibiotics and growth promoters, combat antimicrobial resistance, and sequestrate carbon. So far, we have developed a traction of 4+ poultry farmers, 3+ aquaculture farmers, and 100+ organic farmers. Since our focus is on semi-medium and medium farmers, we calculated the willingness to buy these biochar by these farmers. Coming to climate and social impact, we are reducing greenhouse gases emission by sequestering carbon and absorption of methane and ammonia by giving biochar-based feed additive. The poop is being used as a compost which acts as a soil enhancer, and we are judiciously minimizing the use of antibiotics by these livestock and poultry farmers. We are heading towards women empowerment, conserving the environment and wildlife, and preventing the use of excessive fertilizers, pesticides, and water for irrigation, thereby increasing in the income of farmers by increasing their profit margins. This is our team, myself, Dr. Megha Saxena, and Engineer Ashok Kumar Saxena, who is a retired executive engineer and has experience in charcoal-based water filters. We are seeking for funding, mentorship, and industrial connect. And if we are funded, the fund will be utilized in R&D, machinery, HR, and operation. Thank you so much.
Hi, we are Team EcoDeco, and I'm Sonal, co-founder of EcoDeco, the recycle company. So I would like to begin with presenting a fact in front of you all that plastic is a threat. Very well-known fact, right? But what is not well known is that there are more than 2,000 landfills in India on record basis and many mini landfills that are all around us. So we need to do something with the waste. With this thought, we began with EcoDeco, where we are recycling the waste plastic and converting into the products of utility and decor. So one of our products is these waste bins. So here's the deal. We are selling these waste bins to NGOs at 6,500 rupees per set. Now, why we are targeting these NGOs as our target customer base is basically these NGOs have similar goals like us, and the fact that they are already into the environmental activity, and these bins helps them creating more awareness is the fact that because of which they are interested in these bins as well. So this is our target customer of these NGOs who are mainly into bins installations in India, and this is our beachhead market that we are going to target by the year 2023. Now, why these NGOs are interested in our product along with the positive environmental impact? The cost is also is a very important factor that is helping us getting these customers, and along with that the discounts that we get in exchange of plastic waste that they collect from their drives is also a very important factor, and the buyback model is a very unique USP of our startup. And the product, this is our product basically. So this is the process by which we are getting these bins. So we do the collections and then segregation, we make it into the flakes, and then we make these boards and then these dustbins. So these dustbins have very thickness, like they are very thick material. So the durability is a very important factors when we do the comparisons. And along with that, the unique design kills the monotony of the dustbins that are already available in the market. And of course, the positive impact is the most important one. So this is our product, which is made from waste to keep the waste. Now, during our research, what we found was that the fact that these bins have the similar cost or the lesser cost than the bins that are available, and the environmental impact that is attached to is the driving factors for the customer to get these from us, and because of that they are interested. And this is the customer persona basically. They are working in waste management, located in mainly North India, and along with that they are mostly into plastic waste collections or awareness, and their goals are basically similar to our goals. So yeah, this is the persona of our customers. And these are the financials where we need to target only 0.05 percentage of the total market, where we need only 9 customer per year, but we need to have 300 on average product per customer. So by this achieving, by doing this much of production, we will be having 6.75 million rupees of profit per year. So our key drivers are basically the production and the low value raw material as well. So this is the impact that we are creating with our startup. So with these, particularly with these bins, we are recycling 8.5 kgs of plastic and saving 6.2 kgs of CO2 emission with each bin. And along with these values, this is the competitive advantages that we are having over virgin plastic bins, where we are reducing 88% of energy consumption by replacing each virgin plastic bin by our bin. So this is the beachhead market. This is the impact that we create for beachhead market. So that we are achieving with the amazing team that is working behind the curtain. So we have Vaibhav, who is environmental engineer and doing all the groundworks of this particular startup. And Shreya and me are mostly involved in the marketing and designing activities. And we dream to have an Uber-like structure to support rack pickers on a digital basis, with a digital platform. And and I'm looking for the grant of rupees 15 lakh as a support, and for this is how we are planning to spend it, where we will be spending more than 50% to scale up our production to achieve the goals that I already talked about. And for the 25% we'll be spending on team expense and also into the marketing and to digitize our startups. So yeah, this is how we are going to spend, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present myself. Thanks a lot.
Hi, I'm Ranjini Thambi. I'm an upcycler, painter, and founder of Vaapasi. I started to visit scraps when my husband and I had to collect old properties for our sound studio. A small curiosity grew in me, and I started to collect unwanted pieces and began to convert them into new decor items for our home. The idea grew beyond curiosity as I started understanding the treasure behind the trash. Most of this trash goes into the landfill, which in turn adversely impacts our planet. I didn't know about it, and this made me rethink about the ways it could be converted into utility goods or decor. Hence, Vaapasi was born. Out of 12,000 applications, Vaapasi was one among the 200 startups proudly incubated at IIM Bangalore NSRCell. We are a DPIIT recognized startup by Startup India as well. And how do we do it? We at Vaapasi collect solid dry waste from communities and companies around us. We segregate, sanitize, and then convert them into trendy and stylish homeware and decor products. And the deal is, Vaapasi sells upcycle decor and utility product to households and corporates at an average of rupees 1,500 per product. Our beachhead market is Kochi. This is where we were born. Our first plan of scaling up is to open a curated studio store in Kochi and Bengaluru. And then in over 4 years, we look forward to expanding across Tier 1 and Tier 2 cities of India. And our competitive edge lies in that our products are unique and bespoke, which never make the customer feel that it's made from waste. We also provide loyalty points for the waste collected. Apart from selling products, we help companies to achieve circularity. All our products go through a vivid thinking process, keeping utility, ergonomics, and aesthetics as the pillars of product design. Since the launch in March, we are getting overwhelming response on this product sales. Apart from interior designing, our refurbishing service for the pre-existing furniture is also fetching us a good share of alternate revenue in the local market. Corporate workshops on zero waste management and waste consulting are part of the scale up. We expect a profit of 45 lakhs by the end of fifth year. We have a direct climate and social impact. We train and employ self-help groups of women from marginalized community. Since our source materials are mostly post-consumer waste, the net release of carbon dioxide equivalents into the atmosphere is relatively zero. We only use biodegradable and recycled materials for packaging. We target towards SDG 12 by eco-friendly production and consumption. And this is our team. Self-help groups of women and local artisans are the strong pillars of our venture. Our core team consists of 4 young, passionate minds that believe and fight climate change. From the amount of inquiries we had in this short span, we are sure that there is a huge eco-conscious segment community out there. On top of that, we have been contacted by exporters and aggregator marketplaces for bulk orders. In order to fulfill large quantities in a short lead time, we need to invest in machinery for production, branding, and packaging. This will reduce the cost of our products and will in turn lead to more conversions from eco-conscious visitors to buying customers. Together, let's encourage many more people to shift to sustainability. Thank you for your time.
I will begin with one of the best kept secrets of our modern times. We all know that trees are destroyed to make paper, but very few of us know that trees are similarly destroyed, thousands of billions of them worldwide, to make the absorbent material that is used in modern disposable sanitary pads. This was the main reason we began our journey with Sokyam reusable pads more than 1 year ago. Sokyam pads are made from banana fiber and cotton cloth. They're beautiful, natural, and essential. We have a simple deal. A set of pads is made available to rural women and girls for 280 rupees each. This set lasts 4 years and eliminates the need for repeated purchases of disposable pads. Our beachhead market is rural Kerala, where our parent organization has formed self-help groups of lakhs of poor women. We are targeting 20 lakh paying customers by 2024. The learnings would enable us to then expand to rural areas in South India and later North India. India has the world's largest rural population. We plan to expand to neighboring countries such as Nepal, Sri Lanka, and other countries in South Asia as well. On this slide, we compare Sokyam reusable pads to other types of pads. Non-biodegradable disposable, the default option available today, is actually the most expensive. Sokyam pads are free from chemical additives and they're better for the environment. Because repeated purchases are not needed, the overall cost is low. Sockim pads are priced lower than even reusable pads that use cloth alone. Our value chain begins with the dead banana tree. Banana fiber also comes from a tree, but a living tree is not cut down here. The banana tree is unique in that it fruits only once. After that, it is cut. Fiber is derived from these cut trees. No living trees are harmed, which is the case with disposable pads. We have a team of women that extracts the fiber, which is then cleaned and made into sheets for stitching. In a very small pilot, we have sold the pads and also given them completely free in some communities. We interviewed 88 paying customers and 274 beneficiaries who had received the pads free. Saving money was one of the main reasons why most women bought Sockim, in addition to health and environmental concerns. No rashes, no exposure to chemicals and dioxins, no creation of waste, no cutting down of trees. These were some more reasons why women preferred these pads. Our projected profit per year is 5.25 crores after 5 years. Our key drivers are the price of a pad set, the cost to make and the cost to sell a pad set, and the number of customers. A year's worth of disposable pads leaves a carbon footprint of 5.3 kg carbon dioxide equivalent per person. With our current users of Sockim pads, we are saving 32.86 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent per year. Our projected future savings when we have 50% of our beachhead market is 10,600 tons of carbon dioxide equivalent per year. This is our team. We're very fortunate to have guidance of Amma, Srimata Amritanandamayi Devi, who is revered all over the world as a spiritual and humanitarian leader. Amma began this project for rural women. Our collective dream, reusable pads become just as mainstream as disposable pads currently are. We provide an income to 5,000 marginalized women through this enterprise. This is one of the best parts of this project for us. Currently, we have a team of 30 women. We prevent 40 million trees from being cut down. We eliminate 400,000 tons of non-biodegradable plastic waste per year. We thank you very much for the opportunity to be part of Climate Launchpad. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Nilanjana Das. I am the founder director of the organization Action Center for Transformation. The initiative is called Kagas Ke Pank. The vision of the organization is sustainable development by creating a chain of change makers, developing eco-friendly brand of handcrafted lifestyle products with the concept of upcycling waste to resource. The problem statement. Here I would like to share a story of Chandravati, who stays in village Bandwari in Haryana. I met her a couple of years ago when she had lost her husband and she had 2 children to cater to. She did not have any income generation of her own. There were similar women like Chandravati in her village and in the nearby village, facing the similar kind of situations. We wanted to do for these women. We went to the corporate seeking for funds. But there was another giant problem which was arising in the urban areas in the corporates. There was the waste, the problem of waste. There was a huge, generation of waste, the paper waste, which was happening in the offices. They need to be disposed of. We came back, we brainstormed. There was the problem 1, which was the paper and the cloth waste in urban areas. There was the problem 2, which is the lack of skill-based livelihood in rural areas. We connected the 2 problems and created an opportunity where the waste became a raw material for the social enterprise in the rural communities. ACT aimed to promote sustainable livelihoods for women, involving 300 women presently, who transforms the waste paper and cloth into meaningful products. The products that you see here, they're unique, they're handcrafted, they're upcycled from waste, they're completely utility products and long-lasting and durable products. It's a value creation from waste. It comes under a category of sustainable lifestyle products. And more than 100 different products are designed and developed by the rural designers, by the urban designers, and by the whole team. Our 90% customers are women from urban areas who are environmentally conscious and supports the cause of environment and women empowerment. Our tagline has been environment-friendly urban women supporting environment-friendly rural women. Until now, we have more than 1,000 customers and 50% are repeat customers. Customer value proposition. We believe that we are a one-stop solution for eco-friendly, long-lasting paper-based products. We are a platform to directly communicate between the urban enthusiast and the rural upcyclers. It's a platform of exchange for exchanging ideas, ideation, brainstorming, and bringing new solutions. It's a value addition to waste and waste management. Alternate line of products in place of plastic products is a joy of reducing the carbon footprint. Since the products are handcrafted, they can be customized in terms of their shape, the size, the color. And last but not the least, we're empowering the rural upcyclers and bringing smiles on the faces of Chandravati. Structure, the organization has got a well laid out structure. At the ground level, we have the SHGs. We run on the SHG model. The 300 women are organized into 25 self-help groups. They're all connected to banks. Then they're federated into a body, which is a federation, which works collectively with complete ownership. We have ACT, which acts as an advisory body in terms of all the capacity development programs, skill development, entrepreneurship development programs, knowledge building, marketing, getting orders, timely delivery of the products, quality control, and many other things. The team includes founder director Nilanjana Das, that's me, supported by advisory committee, design consultants, volunteer, and activists. At the ground level, we have dedicated project coordinator, marketing coordinator, master trainers from self-help groups and cluster leaders from every craft cluster. 300 rural women upcyclers creating a chain of change makers, and they are sustainable, continuously doing the work. They're financially literate, self-reliant and self-confident, earning a regular income of 5,000 or more. There are 130 women crafters who are recognized and honored by the Ministry of Textiles as paper crafters. Upcycling of 3,000, 5,000 kgs of dry waste every month. And this is a 100% women run enterprise. Call for action. We have a plan to develop a capacity building and design development center for 1,000 potential change makers. And the environment upcyclers in the next 3 years, and we propose to fundraise 30 lakhs per year. Looking forward to all your support. Thank you so much.
I'm the founder of Airalum, a startup based in Kozhikode, Kerala. So Airalum is going to be a complete platform for total solution for 100% sustainable, eco-friendly, handmade or handcrafted products. So this is a good platform or a global platform for such kind of sustainable or eco-friendly products. The problem we have identified is eco-friendly product manufacturing sector, including the handmade or handcrafted, suffers low productivity, unorganized marketing, poor infrastructure, and shortage of labors. So we have identified 3 solutions. Like one is industrialization of eco-friendly products, because all these kind of organizations are scattered and they don't have a proper system. So we have identified to solve like industrialization of the sectors, and also we preserving the traditional artisans. That's so many artisans who are in the handmade or handcrafted sector. And in our website, we will provide a separate platform for their selling their unique and unique products. And also by using these talented or traditional artisan, we forming the cluster, and also we provide a marketplace for such independent artisans. And our revenue model is like we have B2B and B2C. Through our e-commerce platform, we have the B2C clients, that directly clients who can purchase these kind of products from our platform. And also we have corporate clients like there is a B2B sales platform also. And we have offline stores, and we targeting the tourism industry as responsible tourism sector. And also there is so many plastic waste are produced in the packing industry. So we are trying to implement packing solutions for the manufacturing industry also. And we can provide training and consultation for the low skilled laborers and for the organizations and other NGOs. Oh, so this is going to be the market segmentation of our platform and the products. That is because of this plastic ban over the globe. We have a good platform in a good market in the eco-friendly or the sustainable product sector. Also, people are demanding many requests on the customized handmade or handcrafted product. And our market opportunity lies, we have a global market in the sustainable products and also in responsible tourism and eco-friendly packing industry and other social related activities. And we have identified some direct and indirect competitors like we have Fab India, Amazon Karigar, Ethnic Pigment. There are some unorganized societies like or other institutions like there's Grameen, ISAF, and there are so many societies or NGOs working under the handmade or handcrafted sector, and they are scattered and they don't have a proper organized system, or they don't have the capability to scale up these kind of products. So business progress, this is the overall progress of Airalum. We are incorporated in 2019 September. Then we are incubated in Kerala Startup Mission in December, and we got the client Microsoft from there. And Kerala Startup Mission is also one of our clients for the corporate gifting. Then almost by 2020, February, we earned around 15 lakh of sales, and we got 30 plus of clients, and we started manufacturing units on jute paper and cotton across Kerala because we have independent units and we have our own unit that time. And due to COVID, we have moved our platform into completely online. We launched our e-commerce website and for the customized products, and we provide a platform for these kind of vendors also. Then by 2021, we have received two type of grants: the Green Innovation Grant by UNDP, and also WISE Innovation, that is the Women Entrepreneurship and Innovation Grant by IITMK. So this is the overall business progress of Airalum. We sold out 300 plus, or we have 100 plus products with us, and we have 300 plus customers, and we have already delivered 30,000 deliveries, and this is the overall progress of Airalum. And ongoing work, actually, our e-commerce platform is live, and we are expected to launch our multi-vendor by November, December 2021. And we have identified the unique artisans are there ready to collaborate with Airalum, and many around 20 to 30 vendors are signed up for the project, and also innovative products are designing in the backend. So this is the current business stage. We are also already incubated in IIM and Kerala Startup Mission IITMK under different projects, and we are developed around 100 plus products. So currently we are collaborating with UNDP, Head the Kerala Mission for the sustainable and eco-friendly product sector. And so we developing multi-vendor platform. We started training and consultation for the low-skilled laborers. So overall, this is a target sales per month. So far, we have received two type of fund: the Green Innovation and WISE Fund, and the overall fund requirement is around 50 to 100K dollars. And this is the founding team of Airalum, me and my brother Nitin Raj, who is the founder of Airalum, co-founder. And this is our team, and this is so far our happy clients, and these are some of the product mockups, and this is the unit, and this is the some media and the other achievements we have received so far. So this is all about Airalum. Thank you.
Hello, Namaste. I am Bhavini Parikh, social entrepreneur, fashion designer, textile artist. Today, textile industry is the highest polluting industry in the world. To save landfills, we started Banko Janko. Banko Janko is an upcycle fashion brand. It is an eco-sustainable fashion brand for the environmental sustainability and women empowerment. Banko is the art decoration creation, and Janko is from the junk. We provide livelihood opportunity to the women. We make garment, home furnishing, accessories, lanyards, awards, many more things from the textile scraps to save the landfill. I was selected for Climate Collective Initiative's Climate Ready for Women in Upcycling. This is a wonderful platform to connect with like-minded people, to learn from peers, and of course, they have arranged a very good. They've organized the training sessions, one-on-one mentoring sessions, and it is a really wonderful for us to learn more. And it is a wonderful platform to connect with like-minded people. Thank you so much.
This brings us to an end for Climate Pitch for Women. You just heard from 10 of our founders from our last two Climate Ready for Women cohorts. To get in touch with them, do mail us at info@climatecollective.net or zoe@climatecollective.net. We would love to know what you think of these startups, and if you do want to connect with them or learn more about them, feel free to reach out to us. The event